Hello, 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 hello. My name is Asherah, and welcome to my very, very unique PhD research project where I am looking at DID, or mental health, I should say. And the category of mental health is DID, which is dissociative identity disorder slash psychosis versus conscious expansion, shamanism. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of January, sorry, and it is now 6:28. I've been up since around 4:30. I've done another video about a dream that I had, and now I just quickly wanted to do this video. So, if you don't know me, I am currently looking at my own experiences in mental health, someone who's studying it at PhD level, as well as somebody who has experienced a psychotic episode, if you like, in mental health terms in 2024, but also someone who is on a shamanism path. I've always been clairvoyant. I've always been a medium since I was a little girl. I've saw ghosts and I've heard and spoke to spirits. 2020, 21, things went next level basically. And if you had asked me in 2022 if I was losing my mind, I would have told you fuck yes. But I managed to get through 2022, 2023 into 2024, and that's when one of the biggest kind of spiritual awakenings happened for me, where I just wasn't able to determine what was 3D reality and what was 5D reality. The two dimensions had become one. 3 dimensions perhaps, or multiple different universes had become one. And I was flying. So anyway, I want to do this video because I've just yesterday I left. I'm in Peru at the moment. And I came to Peru with my shamanic practitioner tutor from England, and literally Stacey, and literally came to Peru to do ayahuasca, which is a plant-based medicine, and San Pedro, which is a medicine that you get from a particular cactus. And I want to kind of just go a little bit deeper into explaining what those are by going onto the Hummingbird Healing Center and just reading some of the information that they've put on their website, which anybody can go to and read for yourself. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. I also want to talk about my experience being on ayahuasca and also being with these particular people on ayahuasca, and also some of the comments and the things that were suggested before, during, and after the ayahuasca and San Pedro experience. So let's go straight into it because we don't really want to waste any time. I want to give you a little bit about the hummingbird. So let me turn the camera around. So this is the Hummingbird Healing Center, and it's just the hummingbirdhealingcenter.org. You can go onto their website and check them out. The man at the back is Manos. He's the guy that was doing a lot of the shamanic talking, etc. And if we just go down a little bit, we can kind of see what it's saying. So it says the Hummingbird Healing Center is a Peruvian family-run retreat owned and operated by Jim and Gina. So Jim is the guy, he's from America, he's white, and Gina is his wife, she's Peruvian, with support from their son and daughter-in-law. And while Jim married into the family, all the members were born and raised in Iquitos, Peru. Yeah? The family lives on the site and everybody contributes. Blah, 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 blah. Now, the main guy is this guy here, Manny, we call him. And he's a 4th generation ayahuasca master, curandero, yeah? Master curandero. I'm not sure what curandero is. We could just chat GPT that. In fact, let me let's take a picture of it. Where am I? I'm still in Peru at the moment, if you're wondering. I'm not too far away from the airport, and my flight is in a few hours' time. So I didn't go back with the group to the normal hotels that we started off in. As I said, the vibes are off. So my ancestors were like, we're diverting this way. So that's what I did. I diverted, so I'm not even in the same area as those guys. But we'll go into that a little bit more. Let's just find out. Let's put what type of master is he? Question mark. He is described as a fourth-generation ayahuasca master curandero, meaning a traditional Amazonian healer and ceremonial leader who comes from a lineage of ayahuasca practitioners trained across generations. Okay, that's what that means. So here it says he comes from a long lineage of healers, and he's a fourth generation in his family to carry the ayahuasca tradition. Born and raised in Racuna, a small town about 12 hours from Iquitos by river, he began his training at age 16 under his father's guidance. For the next 15 years, he worked alongside him in his healing practice. After his father's passing, Manny moved deeper into the jungle to a small community of Saint Gerardo, where he served for over 20 years as a respected, sought-after healer. He joined the Hummingbird Center in 2014, and since then, he's seen a steady stream of reoccurring guests and referrals. His powerful incaras and heartfelt prayers consistently bring people the deep healing they're seeking. Mana has a profound faith in God's work through the medicine spirit to heal. This trust in the sacred nature of the plants guides his work and gives him ceremonial, powerful spiritual depth. Gives his ceremonies a powerful spiritual depth. Gentle and humble in daily life, he's deeply committed to healing others' lives, making others' lives healthier, more peaceful lives. Did I read that right? Gentle and humble in daily life, he's deeply committed to helping others live healthier, more peaceful lives. In the first ceremony of each retreat, Manny scans the room energetically from the altar, attuning himself to each guest. In every subsequent ceremony, he performs direct healing, stopping in front of each person to sing an individual aikaro tailored to their process. He also offers prayer work on often sitting in front of the guests, gently taking their hands and praying with deep focus and intent. Many guests describe this as one of the most powerful parts of the retreat, often feeling profound energetic shifts during the prayer. As healing unfolds, Manny welcomes specific requests and encourages guests to share anything that might help guide his work more effectively. His voice is strong and resonates, a guiding force in the ceremony that calls in the spirits and opens the way of transformation. Manny's presence and work will leave a lasting impact that continues long after the retreat ends. So this is what he looks like. Let me move my finger out of the way. And this is his altar. This is him in ceremony. You're on these mattresses. And that's what it looks like in the Mallorca. Here are some guests that stayed there before. And I just want to play this little video for you. Oh. That's the Mallorca from the outside. Sorry about my screen. I did grease my face before turning the video on, so that might be why it looks so shiny. This is a picture of Gina. She doesn't look like that now. She looks a lot, she looks different. And I didn't meet this guy. But that's her son though. And these are some of the staff that are at the retreat. Alright, and these are the details. Okay. House, not too far away from the airport. You can literally come outside and see the gates of the airport. So I'm literally across the road from the airport, more or less. The reason why I wanted to show you Manny in particular is because since I had ayahuasca twice, yeah? On the first night, most people had 25 mils of ayahuasca. I had 60 because I wasn't feeling anything, meaning that I had over double. I had more than 60. In truth, I had 75. Yeah, because the 10 that he reckons he poured, he knows he poured out more than 10. And I even thanked him at the time saying, that's 25, thank you. But whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, however much ayahuasca I had over double than anybody else, and it weren't really doing anything. When I say it wasn't doing anything, it did what it needed to do in terms of showing me lots of visions outside the window, in the sky of my ancestors that are freed. Now, if you go back to some of my earlier videos, when I'm at the hotel getting ready to fly to Peru, I'm crying in one of the videos because I'm talking about my ancestors that are freed. These were the ancestors that had come to me during the ayahuasca ceremony and was just showing me what had happened and what was going on. A book in there. So painful. So by the second ayahuasca, it was more of the same thing. The ancestors introducing themselves, talking to me. I was giggling, I was laughing, I was so in love. You know what I mean? Some of them were trying to be scary, but I found none of them scary, to be honest. But there was a message in there. And by the second ayahuasca, they were telling me, don't take the ayahuasca. They'd already said, I am the ayahuasca, I am the snake. And they told me that from in England. Yeah, they didn't tell me that I'm ayahuasca, but this snake came and I was initiated by this snake, this very, very lime green snake, which I'd been talking to Stacey, my shamanic teacher, about. Yeah, but at no point did she say to me that the snake has any connection with ayahuasca. It was Gina, Jim's wife, that made me know the snake is connected to ayahuasca, and most people that take ayahuasca see the snake. So during the second ceremony, I'm seeing pictures of the snake going down my ancestors' mouths and their eyes turning into like a red spiral. Yeah? So they're telling me the ayahuasca makes you go mad. It makes you go mad. Don't take the ayahuasca. Don't take the ayahuasca. You take the ayahuasca and you go, and this is what they're showing me. So some of the pictures are going from smiling to scary pictures because they're on the fucking ayahuasca. So I'm like, all right, I've got the message. Don't take the ayahuasca. Don't take the ayahuasca. There's 4 hours of visual. I get 4 hours of visions because the visions don't stop from the minute the ayahuasca kicks in to the minute, in fact, even after I've left the Mahot or whatever it's called. There's still visions of the ancestors, which is really beautiful. Anyway, what happens during the second? So I've said I'm a snake. In preparation to get ready for the second ceremony, I've dressed like a snake. My ancestors have told me what to wear. I've got a silk do-rag on my head, which comes out at the side like the snake. And I'm also wearing a green, all-in-one, like faux gown, which is the same green and yellow as the ayahuasca snake that they've shown me. But they also told me that the ayahuasca snake used to be called the avocado snake because the jungle is very much green, yellow and brown, just like the inside of an avocado with the seed, etc. But they told me that the day before we actually went to the healing center. And I said to Stacey, they've told me avocado. So I went and got some avocado for lunch. But then when we got to the forest, the jungle, and I showed her for the picture, and I was like, look, Stacey, the jungle is avocado. And she was like, oh yeah, she's been here about 10 times. I don't know why she don't know this. Like when I'm saying avocado, she's not saying, oh, the jungle looks like avocado. When I'm saying snake, she's not saying, oh, mama ayahuasca is linked to a snake. She's giving me nothing basically, but I'm figuring it out anyway. So during the ayahuasca ceremony, there's a big commotion outside the Mayoka's door, that's in the building that we're in, and a snake has come right up to the door of the ceremony. Imagine. Apparently this has never happened before, but it's happened tonight. There's a lot of things that have never happened before, but they're happening since I'm getting there. So from the first ayahuasca session, they were saying that I'm very powerful, I'm very powerful, I'm very powerful, and I'm very dangerous. Yeah? They're not explaining what, they're just saying that I've got powers. They're saying I'm very powerful. Obvious I'm a high priestess, they're saying. Yeah? It's obvious, they're saying, no question about it. And they're saying I'm dangerous because half the things that are happening, I don't know what's happening. But I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening because that's the whole point of being a shaman. Spirits come through you. You channel spirits. You are not the spirit. You are the channel for the spirit. Does that make sense? So there's Ifu, I think it's pronounced. It's not pronounced, but if it's not pronounced, forgive me. But they said an Ifu and an Ifa. An Ifa channels spirit and they don't remember anything. The spirit's talking through them, moving through them, acting through them, but they have no memory of what happened. They can't tell you back the information. Whereas an Ifu, they will tell you about the information. They are consciously awake and consciously present when things are happening. I do both. There are times when I'm consciously awake and I'm aware of what's happening. And there's times when I'm not aware of what's happening. Does that make, yeah, that does make sense. So anyway, it's me, I'm dangerous, blah, blah, blah. So there's been nothing but fuckery really that has gone on. So I got bit by a tick and ended up in hospital. Again, it was very spiritual. It was a spiritual initiation is what my grandparents were telling me, because I've taken something on from the jungle that has had a reaction to me, both physically, spiritually, and even my DNA codes, yeah? But it was necessary for it to happen. They told me from day one, nothing bad's going to happen to me, so just roll with it, and I did. Oh my God, I rolled with it, and I'm here to tell the tale. But what I think has kind of upset me, probably not upset me, that's too strong a word, but what has kind of knocked me is that on the way to the hospital, Jim said that I was very disrespectful. I'm a very disrespectful person. Why? How? Because I came into their ayahuasca session and took over. What? You've been with me all day, and today is a day we never took ayahuasca. So why have you not spoke to me all day today about me taking over ayahuasca? In fact, we've been on St. Pedro, sorry. So the day before we had no ayahuasca, and today we're on St. Pedro, and today is the day, right now, at 1 o'clock in the morning, on the way to the hospital, when I'm not feeling very well. You want to tell me that I'm disrespectful because I took over the ceremony. And then the next day, I'm like, how? He said, because basically, I said, one, I don't even know what's happening in ceremony. The ancestors are doing their thing and I'm doing my thing. What I'm being showed, that's what I'm paying attention to. I don't know about no taking over, no ceremony. And then the next day, they come back to the hospital, but this time with Gina and Stacey. And Stacey says the same thing to me, that I'm disrespectful because I took over the ceremony. So I want to talk about that for a minute. Because fun and joke aside, yeah, you've got Stacey, who considers herself to be a shaman. You've got Jim, who considers himself to be a healer. And you've got Manny, who I've just showed you, is a fourth generation shaman. And they're all saying, I'm powerful. I'm more powerful than them, basically. I'm more powerful than them. And not only am I more powerful than them, I was able to take over their ceremony. The same ceremonies that they've been running since 2010, between 2010 and 2014. Make that make sense? They're scared of me. Their whole vibe and their whole reaction showed me that they were scared of me. They are scared of me. I'm powerful, too powerful. But not only that, I can hear them plotting and planning. They were plotting and planning before I got to Peru. I've got videos on this channel talking about, I can hear them. I can hear them talking. I sat down with Stacey, the shaman practitioner, and told her there's a guy there and he's small. I'm really worried about his energy. She's like, oh, there's only one small guy there, and that's Manny, and he's been there for years. He's a healer. I was like, oh, really? And then during ceremony, I seen him shape-shift into loads of different fucking things that did not look nice and did not look pleasant at all. He's evil, man. He's demonic. Jim, he shape-shifted into some elongated extraterrestrial, like a grey. Stacey's like, yeah, I know. She sees him like that too. And sometimes she sees Manny with no head. So if you see these people in these capacities, why are you dealing with these people? Manny's come round to do healing. My ancestor told him straight, no thank you. Don't let him touch you in no shape or form. All this man's wanted to do is touch me and put healing on me. Even up to yesterday day when we were leaving, he's made up this little bottle of concoction, perfume, something, on about it will hear. He wants 100 solace or whatever their money's in. That's like 25 quid, mate. 25 quid for some fucking nonsense that my man's made up in a bottle. One of them brought it. I went buying shit. Then he wants to take it and make crisscrosses on your hand while he's saying some funky prayer. No. When I watched him hold Stacey's hands, that's the practitioner from the UK, and give her healing, talk all this nonsense over her, all I could see is rays of light in the darkness going from Stacey into him. He was observing and sucking her healing power. He was harvesting her fucking I already said power, innit? So what would you say that? Her divine energy, not the other way around. If he's giving her healing, I should have seen the healing rays go from him to her. I'm like, why am I seeing them go from her to him? Because he's sucking her blood clot off, and she's involved too. She just doesn't know that she's involved, if that makes sense. She's involved because she brings people like me from the UK to this healing centre for Manny and Jim to feed off. So financially they're feeding off us, because if we didn't go, the business would be shut down. So they need the business in order to keep the place running. That was evident. And they're obviously quite quiet and not doing so well because money is a huge worry for Jim. I think he said it, but I know I picked that up anyway. And you got Manny living on site. So obviously everything that he does is very much reliant on money. The staff are very much reliant on tips. Yeah? Because it's a small centre and it's out in the middle of nowhere. You don't have just random nobody random is just going to pop in. Everything has to be planned and pre-booked. So they know exactly how much money they're getting. Plus on this course, from Stacey's group alone, there should have been 7 or 8 of us, and there was 3 of us. So if it's £2,000 per person, that's a lot of money to miss out on. Yeah, let's just keep it real. That's a lot of money to miss out on. But Stacey's feeding him that way by bringing people to the centre and make sure that the centre is financially sustainable. But she's also feeding them in another way where they're absorbing and taking life force energy, but they're also taking it from her. I don't even know if she's a victim or a perpetrator. Most likely she's both. That's the truth. And all she's done on this retreat is show me how jealous she is. Jealous of me. She's jealous of my beauty. She's jealous of my body. She's jealous of my gifts. She's jealous of my power. She's jealous of my intelligence the whole way through. To the point where sometimes I felt like I had to stop talking around her just for her jealousy nerves to calm down a little bit. Because she was on fire. Venomous fire. Venomous fire. And what made it worse is that the students there could see that she wasn't better than me, could see that she wasn't more powerful than me, can see that she is not a higher shaman than me. So because the students were saying things like that too, it couldn't be ignored. You couldn't just forget about it. So I understand why she was being vibrationally shifted, because not only was she dealing with her own insecurities, she was having to deal with the questions of the students too. One of her students turned around and said, I know that you're a really, really advanced shaman, but what I'm seeing Asherah do is freaking me out. Do you know what I mean? What Asherah's doing is totally freaking me out. It seems like Asherah is just able to tap in to all levels. It's like your level of intelligence is next level. I don't think I've ever met someone as intelligent as you. You know things on all. You know things about every different thing. How can one person have so much knowledge and in-depth information about every topic? Like, fair enough, you might be an expert in that and you might know a little bit about that and whatever, but every person here and every person you've spoke to about what they're an expert in, you've also been an expert in it too. Yeah? So for example, when we got on the bus, when we met up with Marco's from America. He's really involved in businesses and helping the efficiency of businesses. So I was able to speak to him on a level about that. He's also into tech. I'm in tech. So I could speak to him on a level of that. Yeah? Then you've got Ava. She's on her first spiritual journey. She was talking about these relationships that she's come across, whatever. Not on the intellectual side, but on the life side. I was able to link in with her and talk about her things. Then you've got Kaz, and she's a home educator. I'm a home educator. She's also somebody who runs a business in skincare. I know all about that because I've got my own skincare business. She's also somebody who is a SENCO, a special educational needs coordinator. I'm a SENCO too. So, and then you've got Stacey, who's in shamanism. I know what Stacey's talking about and can talk about in-depth things on another level. So I've got recordings of me and Stacey talking, and where she's got information from downloads, which is absolutely great. So she's talking about who Enoch was and whatever else. But I can take that another level because as an academic and a researcher, when I research something, I go in. So yes, I have downloads about things, but I don't just leave it there. I go deeper into my research. I take the Bible. My Bible is annotated. I go deep into it. I go deep into other sources of information to understand what's going on around Enoch. I understand that the Ethiopian Orthodox religion talks heavily about Enoch. He's one of the 81 books in their Bible, whereas the Christian Bible only has 66 books. So I'm able to take information and conversations to another level. Jim, he talks a lot. He's read a lot. He's well read and well versed. So when he's talking about things of higher level, I'm talking to him, and I'm on a level with him, and I'm introducing new things to him, and he's introducing new things for me. So when Jim's talking, even though there's a group of us, his eyes are consistently fixated on my eyes. It's like I'm the only person in the room, but it's because we're able to have high level conversations. So he's connected to that. Gina doesn't really speak much English, but, very fluent in Spanish, obviously. I never approached her once because Spirit made it very clear, do not. Because if I had approached her, Stacey would have been more jealous than what she was, because Stacey and her have always had this very, very unique relationship where they don't talk each other's language, but they talk a love language where they're just kissing at each other and hugging each other and expressing each other's loves and admiration through those kind of signals. Whereas this time around, I was able to use ChatGPT so Gina and Stacey could talk to each other for the first time. It was so emotional. There was a lot of tears. And there was a lot of thank yous, Asherahs, because for the first time they were able to communicate. I don't know why they never communicated like this before, but this was the first time they were communicating like this, and they were able to really express what they felt about each other and things over the years, not just pertaining to the moment right there. They were referencing things that had happened over the years, and they were able to talk using my phone. But Spirit told me not to approach her, so Gina constantly came where I was to give me hugs and kisses. She was using the love language on me, as well as we were talking, as well as I can understand a fair bit of Spanish too. You know what I mean? And she can understand quite a bit of English. So between us, we were able to kind of work it out. And you could see Stacey watching those kind of things. Energetically, you could see Stacey becoming upset about those things too, because Gina is hers and has been hers for all these years. And now I've come along and Gina is not just hers. Gina is expressing love towards me. And it was love. She'd follow me around the ground. She'd literally pulled fruit off the tree. You know how hard it was? She was yanking. I was like, no, Gina, leave it. I know you're strong, but leave it. You know what I mean? She was very attentive to me. She was very loving towards me. It was like having a mum there. You know what I mean? So from my perspective, it was very, very, very nice, because she provided the love and support that possibly Stacey should have as the course coordinator, taking a bunch of people for the first time to Peru. But Stacey wasn't that. Stacey was just sitting in a low vibrational energy, which meant on the third ayahuasca, I didn't go into the third one. I had planned that I'm not taking any ayahuasca anyway. Yes, there was no intention for me to go into the ayahuasca ceremony. What for? And then when you turn around and say that I'm disrespectful, I'm evil, and I've taken over the ceremony, why would I want to go in there with you guys again? I'll never go in there with you guys again. You guys are fucking crazy. You know? So Stacey went in there for the third time and literally said she lost her mind. Some entity had come into her, some ayahuasca entity had come into her and literally just tried to take her thoughts away, which I understand. But those are not necessarily ayahuasca entities. Those are just entities. Those are dark forces. Those are dark forces. And Jim said it himself. He said usually when it's like that, it's voodoo work. But it's also masonry work. It's Freemason work. This is how the Masons get you to lose your mind. They either want you in a madhouse or they want you dead. Those are the two options. Madhouse or dead. I'm not dead, you can't kill me. And I went into a madhouse, but I weren't mad. You couldn't override me, you couldn't overtake me. So I soon came out of there and lived to tell the tale. And it would never happen again. They say never, but I know, because you know what? It made my mind as sharp as a stud. You cannot lose your mind if you own your mind. And I own my mind. My mind does not own me. So when one of the girls was telling me that she's really, really scared of me, because she was scared because she feels like I can read her mind. I know everything that she's going to do before she does it. And I said, in truth, I do. And she said, I can feel it. And I said, well, she said, well, what? I said, why does that worry you though, as long as your thoughts are pure? She said, but sometimes thoughts aren't pure. And I'm sitting down there nervous in case I have a bad thought about you. And you know about it. And then, because you're so powerful, you can inflict a voodoo or badness back at me. So I'm constantly in a frame of mind of, don't have bad thoughts. Because if you have bad thoughts, she might juju you. You know what I mean? But the woman was so honest. I had to say to her, can I record you saying it? So I've got her on video saying what I've just said so that you know it's not me making bullshit up. 1, I don't need to. 2, my life is eventful enough. And 3, I'm a truth speaker. The truth and nothing but the truth. So there was a time when we was all sitting on the settee and I could feel Stacey's jealous energy, and Jim was doing a lot of the talking. And Jim had just given me a book to read called The Prophet, and it was an amazing book. I am going to buy it and finish it. But anyway, I said a comment like, it's like Stacey over there. You're not supposed to be jealous of someone else, because Jim was talking about how we're in each other's reflection. And I was saying exactly. You're not supposed to be jealous of somebody else, because anything that somebody else has, you have it. You have it just by default. You have it just because they have it. If it's a reality for them, it's a reality for you, because we are the same. We are one. There's no difference. So I turned around and said, Stacey's sitting there in that beautiful pink dress. I'm not supposed to be like, oh, fucking hell, look at her. She's the bitch. She's got that dress and I don't have that dress. Why don't I have that dress? It's not fair that I don't have that dress. I hate that she has that dress. I know. I'm going to steal that dress from her. What the fuck? No, that is not the way to think. And if you're thinking like that, sort your shit out. That is demonic. That's low vibrational. That makes you receptible to entities. What you should be thinking is, oh my God, how beautiful is that dress? That dress looks so beautiful on Stacey. I would love a dress like that. And because Stacey's got that dress, I actually have the dress already. Visualize yourself in the dress that the person is wearing. You know what I'm saying? Visualize how beautiful you feel. Visualize how lovely you feel. Visualize the two of you dancing around in the blood clot dress. You know what I'm saying? So when I said that, it's like the penny dropped in Stacey's mind. And her energy changed, and she became a lot more warmer, a lot more nicer, a lot more smiley, a lot more, does that make sense? So I could already see that it was her jealousy and her bad-minded that was lowering her frequency, and therefore making herself more receptive to be whispered in the ear by low vibrational beings. I don't have them kind of thoughts. I don't see people and get jealous of them. Jealous for what, blood? Jealous who? If I want something, I get off my backside and I go get it. So therefore, everything around me is achievable. Everything around me is in abundance. So when Stacey went into the ayahuasca for the third time and got possessed, I wasn't surprised about it. Because your energy is shit. Your energy is shit. And it's a learning curve at the end of the day. But why? This far in the game, Just like Ava said, Stace, I was surprised to see that you're still purging. After being a shaman for 12 years, I thought you were pure and perfect inside, but you're not. And Stacey was like, oh yeah, but the healing journey is a forever journey, and it is. But you shouldn't have entities and you at this stage. No, you shouldn't. And the very fact that you do makes me wonder why you should be calling on power to heal others when actually you're at risk of transferring those demons over to them. Make that make sense? So mindfuck, blood. You can't come round here with me. You cannot touch me. My ancestors are very Pacific and they really do not play about me. And all I'm seeing is bare fuckery on this retreat. And half of it I'm not even talking about because it's not everything you're supposed to chat back. Sometimes you just gotta leave people and watch them and see what they do next. They're pissed. Whatever they was planning to do to me did not work. Their plan was destroyed. It was nil and void at that. Nil and blood clot void. So look at this. Ayahuasca ceremony. What it is, what to expect, and how to prepare. If you're searching for ayahuasca ceremony, you'll likely want practical answers. What happens? How does it last? How long does it last? Is it safe? And how do you prepare? This page will give you clear information. So ayahuasca ceremony is a guided ritual context in which participants drink traditional Amazonian plant brew, commonly prepared from the Bantiserposis, Capi vine, and the companion plant. For many indigenous people of the Amazon, ayahuasca has long been used within ceremonious traditions for spiritual insight, community guidance, and healing practices beyond, embedded in the culture and lineage. In traditional settings, ceremonies are typically led by trained healers, often called curanderos or ayahuasqueros, who create structure through prayer, song, ikaros, and use crucial stewardship of the space. A responsible ceremony is not recreational, it is intentional, serious, and held with respect for the plants and the people who have safeguarded these traditions. Today, ceremonies occur in many contexts, and quality varies widely. Understanding who is healing and how safety is handled and how the tradition is respected is essential. I can't even read any more of this because it's literally putting me to sleep. It's literally putting me to sleep. Shit. It's literally putting me to sleep. Or something's putting me to sleep, let's put it that way. But my head just feels really heavy and I feel a bit dizzy. So give me a minute. Like I said, them motherfuckers have been working, trying to get me. You can't get me, blood. I'm ungettable. Just want this feeling to pass a little bit. I have some sugar tea. I've got some calamari here. See if that wakes me up. It's got honey in it. Gotta put the towel over me because the mosquitoes are relentless, man. Relentless. Constantly sending entities my way. Stupid. I just alchemized the energy. They was expecting me to be fucked, you know. I didn't wake up until 8:30 yesterday. Woke up a little bit early. I woke up several times in the night, but my head was just pounding, man. I was like, yeah, spell work, the dickheads. That's what the whole ceremony was about yesterday. Trying to conjure up something to overtake me. It looked like it tried to overtake Stacey instead. I think I went to sleep then, you know. Sorry if I did. I think I went to sleep then. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch on the fact that I'm in ceremony with these people, and these people haven't got shit on me. So rather than just focusing on the fact that it's rude, what they've said and how they've dealt with me, I wanted to focus on the fact that they believe that I am powerful. They believe I took over their ceremony. They believe I have the potential to be dangerous. That's just given me a whole new level up, that has. Because I've been chatting waffle on these platforms forever and a day, talking about how I perceive myself, how the ancestors perceive myself. And then this time now, it's been confirmed. My man, Manny, has been doing shamanism from young. Yeah, by the time he got to 16, he's well versed. He knows what he's doing. And he thinks I'm powerful, more powerful than him, that I can take over his ceremony. Hello, did you hear me? I'm more powerful than the shaman. I'm more powerful than the Condorado. I'm more powerful than the healer. And I'm more powerful than my shamanic tutor. Yeah, I know who I am. Watch this space.